Welcome. I'm Janelle Kolaski, a career mindset coach and actor.
And I'm Amanda Dubois, a self-authenticity and prosperity life coach and actor as well. And we're your co-host of Mindset Artistry YouTube channel,
where we teach you the art of discovering and using your mindset
to build a career and life you desire. Welcome everyone to another episode of Mindset Artistry. And today is a really special episode. As I mentioned last week, we have my special guest, Victoria, who has been a client of mine for quite a bit. And I am so excited to have her here. So I want to say thank you for, coming on. And I really just want people to understand, one, what it's like to coach with me, and two, what coaching is about, three, what was the effect that it had or impact it had on your life, and we'll go through that. So welcome to Mindset Artistry Podcast, Victoria.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I have a big soft spot for you. I adore you so much, and you're so talented, and just seeing your growth throughout these months has been amazing.
Yeah, so, I feel the same way for sure.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So let's dive in. What brought you to actual coaching? Let's start there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was was it last summer?
It was something like that, but
yeah, I think it was last summer, late last summer. And I was just at a point where I felt like I was just going in circles. And every time I tried something new, I was just metaphorically hitting a brick wall, right? Not literally. And so I just felt really desperate. And I just remember thinking okay, I need help, but I have no idea who to turn to. And, my family, they're in such a different world than me that there's only so much they can do. So I needed an outside perspective. My friends have their own lives going on. And I remember you and I connected a while back through email from something totally different. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember Amanda's a life coach. I don't know what that is. I have no idea how this works. And then that's how I reached out to you. I was like, well, I feel like I need somebody to just hold my hand in a way. And that's when I reached out to you. It was through there. Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you for your honesty. I think we all need help. We talked about it last episode as well. I've had my coaches and it's changed my life. What was the most surprising aspect of coaching with me particularly or specifically?
There were a couple things. I mean, one of the first things was your commitment, which I guess that shouldn't be a surprise, but for me, that was definitely a surprise because I didn't know what to expect. And just your commitment, and then the fact that we clicked so well, because it didn't feel like a transaction. It felt like a relationship, and it's blossomed into this friendship as well. So I didn't know what to expect, but those were some big surprises. And then just how I had this never ending support. And I thought it would only be when we had our weekly meeting, but it was throughout, whenever I needed it. And that was something I'd never experienced before. So commitment, support, and then just slowly seeing changes as well. And then you also acknowledging things that I didn't even realize were hurrah moments. I just was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. And you helping me recognize that was really helpful.
That's awesome. I love that for you. Yeah, I've seen you grow so much. And even just after, I think 3 or 4 sessions, you were making some strides, and I was so proud of you. And thank you for your vulnerability and honesty within our coaching sessions, because they can be tough to their soul and whatever we're going through. And I try to do my best to make it safe for my clients. What was something that you thought was a problem or an issue that actually wasn't, and I helped you find something a little bit deeper that shifted your perspective or shifted your life in a way that uplifted it or made it a bit easier?
Actually, I think it was something recently that first popped up, even though there have been other things, but it was when you noticed that there was a pattern with me. Do you remember that? Yeah.
Which one? No, I'm just kidding.
One, right? No, we're all human. I definitely have a pattern. But it had to do with communication with others, even though I know I'm a very good communicator and I know I can speak in bullet points when needed. but there was still like this lost in translation situation, and it happened a lot. And there was always like this, not like butting heads, but it was more, I just wasn't able to get through to people. I was like, but wait, I thought we were very precise in what we were talking about when it came to like work colleagues or friendships or whatever. And you were like, I'm seeing a pattern here. I think this is what this might be. And I really thought, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, I need to be more precise on these things. It has nothing to do with like me clashing with all these people. It's this pattern that I didn't even realize I had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. That was a big one that I noticed, but I think we all kind of have that. We all have a sense of communication. We don't know how to
Mhm.
communicate or like dive in, and I don't think it was a bad one, but I noticed that it was just flowing into other areas of your life, and I really wanted you to hone that so that you felt empowered to have these conversations, that you had it's the power, the security, and the certainty to have these conversations and leave it and going, okay, I said what I said. I got all the information. Now I can move forward. And I just love that it. Like I think it made a difference. What would you say to someone who is a bit hesitant about coaching, with specifically with me?
I would say invest in yourself. Yeah, I would say that. And I would just use them as an example, use myself as an example, because I think it's been almost a year now that you've been one of my support systems, and my life is like a 180, really, in different pillars in my life. So I would say, like, you've known me forever, and you knew when I hit different versions of rock bottom. So I would definitely say that, like, invest in yourself, and look at your people around you and how their lives have changed if they've had one, or with you, for sure. That's what I would
Yeah,
say.
I love that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I just adore you so much and just your growth. And I'm so excited for everything that's happening to you and the things that are unfolding. And we all have hiccups and challenges. What is something you've taken away from our coaching that you kind of go back to or check in with yourself, maybe weekly, daily, or like monthly? Go, oh, yeah, that's right. And
Oh,
just kind of,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It just like popped in my head.
oh, yeah, go for it.
Um, Grounding myself is a big one. Like, I knew how to ground myself when it wasn't too intense, but I don't make as big a deal of things. So I
Mhm.
have much more of a calmer, I don't freak out as much. If there's less freak out, I'm sort of like, okay, let me assess the situation here. And also, my central nervous system isn't up here all the time. It's much more calmer. Um, so that's something I go back to a lot, is like being in my body more, for sure. Um, and then my self-worth as well, just kind of checking in with that when I make decisions, or I feel I'm going to make a decision out of fear instead of using it as a challenge. That's definitely something. Um, and even with like dating, because some of my stories, they're quite comedic. But I mean, some of them, they're actually really funny.
We all have comedic
But it's,
stories in our dating lives, let me tell you.
yes, yes. But just like really not, am I allowed to cuss on this?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
Not taking shit.
Yep.
And that's been really great. And communicating when it was uncomfortable or scary, or just also just saying, no, I'm good. That's kind of been a huge difference. And now I just am such a different place when it comes to that as well. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, I
Hmm.
love that.
Yeah.
I've seen the difference in you. And I'm so proud because I've seen a difference in how you even talk about yourself and how you navigate conversations with people, whether it's work or your personal life. What would you say how has it affected your career as an actor? Because she is an amazing actress, y'all. Just letting y'all know, dropping it in there. She is so beautiful, so amazing, so talented. How has like coaching and your personal worth and just understanding how to ground yourself affected like your acting or just your perspective on your career?
That a balance is key, which I'm still, that I am still figuring out what that balance is for me, but it's healthier than it's been in a very long time, and to honor what I need for myself and to not beat myself up so much. Because as you know, like I'm in acting school right now and I love it, but it's, I was beating myself up because I have so many things that I'm juggling. And you kind of reminded me like, well, you have to take time for you and it's okay. Like, don't run yourself into the ground. And because I think we all have done that, or we continue to do it, or we can see that it's coming and we're like, no, we got to reel it back in. So that is definitely something I can say is like just honoring more of like what I need and knowing that the right things will come to me, and enjoying it more, enjoying the journey more, because it can be really hard to enjoy the journey.
Yes.
It can be really hard to enjoy the journey.
Absolutely. It
Yeah, yeah.
all these unexpected things that come up, and that's what I think that, one of the benefits of having a coach is like when these unexpected things come up, you have someone to rely on to help you through these moments, or at least just like bounce off ideas, or just kind of release whatever it is that's going on in a safe space that's outside of everything. And I just love that I was able to be that for you. Now, do you have any like questions or things that you want to share as far as like coaching and you being a coach as well?
Yes. Hi, Victoria. I also want to commend you on your courage for facing your shadows and wanting to change. Change is very difficult. So
Yeah.
you should be
So
super proud of yourself. I always feel weird being like, I'm so proud, or it feels weird. I don't know why. But be proud of yourself because it's a big deal. And with that, what advice would you have for people that it's not just about coaching, it's about, I'm nervous about trying to step up to the plate. Maybe I'm not truly ready for coaching, or maybe I don't have what it takes, or maybe I won't be able to change. And I don't know if you had any of those thoughts, but how have you seen through your coaching journey that you were able to get past things?
yeah, I mean, I guess I would say like when you became my coach, I barely had any money, but I just knew that I had to take a leap of faith.
Mm.
And I didn't put myself in more debt. I knew it was money that I had, but it was still very, 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 very tight. Um, but I was just I needed my life to be better and hit every avenue that your mind can possibly process or even imagine. You need somebody to be like, hey, here is what we can actually do. And it opens up so much as well. And also finding other things that you love in your life that bring joy. I just think there's so many things that can surprise you that you don't even know are possible. It's like that having a perspective of somebody who's like trained and knows what to do to help you broaden your horizons of like your viewpoint in life is really important.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you for
Mhm.
sharing
Yeah.
that. Okay, what's your viewpoint on self-love from when we started to even now? Yeah.
Yeah. Uh when we first started, I thought I loved myself, but I did. It's true. I thought I did. I mean, there were certain things for sure, but it was like quite minute.
Mm.
Um, and now I think a part of self love is like really knowing that your time is so important, your time for yourself, and saying no a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, saying no a lot is really important for self love, and knowing that challenges are part of that. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't know any of those things. And I think it depends on your background too, of like if you don't have much knowledge of what that is. Like I didn't really know what self-love was. It was really confusing to me. They do all these things on Instagram. It's like self-love, and they're like buying themselves something and taking a bath. I was very confused. I didn't know what that meant. I was like, so I just take a bath and that's like self-love? I didn't really get it. And they were like buying themselves things, which that could be a form of that, but I didn't understand deeply what that actually meant, because there's so many different paths for that, and it depends on your life. So I have much more access to what self-love is for me personally, and it's so many things. but it's about putting yourself first, and that doesn't mean that you're selfish at all whatsoever.
Yep.
Which probably seems very obvious to other people who are possibly watching this, but for me it wasn't, and I didn't even know what that meant. So now I know what that means, which is really important. And you still remind me, you're like, well, this is this is really important. I'm like, oh yeah, that's self-love too. Haha, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I need to do this. I'm not putting myself first. Um, so yeah, that's how I feel about self-love. Yeah.
Love. What
Yeah.
about self-worth?
Self-worth. Self-worth is for me, I guess, I always loved being alone and I was a very independent soul, but there was definitely still a part of me that wasn't at peace with it in aspects like my finances and at peace with where I'm at in life at my age. And I think, us women in the room, we all know that as a woman, society puts a timeline on you that doesn't exist, but you still feel that pressure from loved ones or family and friends or whatever it may be. And it's not their fault. It's just been ingrained in them as well. And so knowing that, like, my self worth, like, it's okay to be where you're at. And I'm worthy, no matter what I make. I'm worthy no matter where I'm at in my career. And sometimes I still need a baby reminder, you know. Like today, I ran into someone who I hadn't seen in 10 years.
Uh-huh.
And it was the parents of a friend that I lost connection with, but her and I are cool. It's just I haven't seen her in so long. And, I'm sweeping floors and at this place that I love to work at, but still it was like, oh wow, like you met me when I was at the beginning of my career and I've grown so much, but you have no idea where I'm actually at.
Mm-hmm.
You're just seeing me sweeping floors and I have hands full of flowers, so I had a moment of just like, ooh, that hurts a little bit that I'm not where I thought I would be, but that's okay because life has a lot of curveballs and I had to deal with that. And so I felt a little off. I was like, oh, I feel a little off right now that she's seeing me in this place and but she has no idea what my story is in 10 years. It's like she saw me in one way 10 years ago and then she blinked and now here I am 10 years later. So there's no connection there. So I needed a minute and then I was like, no, like that's not what this is about. This has nothing to do with me having more like what she is doing is giving me more meaning. That's not what that's about. It's about where I'm at and that's okay. So yeah, just being at peace with where I'm at I think is something that I've learned and I still need reminders, for sure.
I mean, we all do. I do every day. I remind myself every day. But I think the beauty about that too is that, and I know your personal story is that you're doing something that you love. You're doing something that you love to do. So you're not where you used to be. And you have way
Yeah.
more experience and you have a lot more joy in your life than you did years ago or even months ago, days ago. And so
Yeah.
I love that you
It's
just
good.
grounded yourself and checked in because what a great awareness to have in that moment to go, I'm not really feeling well or know what this is because most people would suppress that, brush it off, maybe get an attitude, maybe get angry, get, all these things. But you took the moment.
Yeah.
You
Hmm.
took the
Yeah.
moment and you were like, all right, I'm gonna ground myself. What's going on? And I love that you
Yeah.
checked in and all right, no. Like whatever that intrusive thought was, is like it's not true. So I love that you did that. Um, and then like has that showed up as far as like self-sabotaging, if at all, in your life?
With in my life in general with
Yeah.
self-sabotage. Yeah.
Mm.
Um I'm not as negative with things, which is good. Because I think, like in the beginning, I was just like it was like a snowball effect and I would spiral. And I didn't realize it was just a thing that I did. And I guess I didn't have much faith as well in certain aspects. Like not in my capabilities in certain ways, but more just like that I deserve what I want.
Ooh.
And I would sabotage in that way, not even realize that's what that was. Thinking about the different avenues of how it couldn't work out and in the end it always works out. So yeah, that's for me, that's what I've experienced is like I don't spiral as much. I'm more at peace with things. I still have my moments or I'm like texting you and I'm like, hey, ah, but nowhere near as much. Yeah, definitely more at peace with things.
Beautiful. I love that. And we'll round this out a little bit, but what I just loved having you as a client. First of all, I think you're amazing, and everything you do is just there's just so much beauty in the things that you do, and I'm glad that you're taking those moments to recognize that because it's so again so beautiful to see and witness as not just your coach, but as an admirer of you. So it's really beautiful to see, and I thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing your story with whoever is listening. Any last words about just coaching and just life in general? And yeah,
I think, well, for coaching, I would just say, like, if you're contemplating it, I would say if it doesn't feel like the right time, usually that's the right time. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, and have a conversation first before with you, and to see if it's the right fit before just dismissing it. Because I did that with you, and I was just very honest with where I was at and what I needed and what I could do and what I couldn't do, and you wanted to be there for me, and it worked. And that showed that you cared more about me than other things, which made a huge difference. That you I already had that support and you barely knew me. So I would just say, like, just try it, like, just see, like, just try it.
yeah.
Like, what's the worst that could happen? Got nothing, I guess, because you just have somebody who's helping you in life. So I don't know what's the worst thing that could happen. Nothing, really.
Yeah,
Uh,
no,
yeah. Um, and I guess life in general, like, something that I've discovered is, like, whatever your version of faith is, trust in it because it's gonna make your life a lot easier.
love it. Look at you dropping some nuggets here, Victoria. Okay,
Nuggets.
little
Follow the
nugget.
nuggets.
Yes, I love it. Well, thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining. And I can't wait. We'll talk again soon. I'm
Yeah.
so proud of you. I know like Nell like feels weird saying that, and I get it, but like I always say that because I know what it's personally what it's like to not hear that as often, even if
Yeah.
it's you don't say it to yourself. It's like, no, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. So I am very proud of you, and I'm looking forward to seeing your journey continue and flourish, and your next chapter. I'm very excited about your next chapter.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
thank you.
good.
All right, we'll see you another time.
Bye, ladies. Nice to meet you, Janelle.
Bye.
Bye.
Cool. All right, everyone. Look at that. You got to meet my amazing client, Victoria. What a gift it has been to be her coach. And here's the reality. Janelle and I have had coaches ourselves. We continue to have coaches. We are, if you are looking to level up, if you're looking to heal, if you're looking to just grow in life, sometimes we can't do it on our own, and that's okay. That is absolutely okay. And that's what Janelle and I offer with our coaching. And on top of that, darling, I talked about, self-worth and self-love, but particularly what I didn't get to touch with on Victoria is this like those blocks, those limiting beliefs that we talked about in the last episode, and how that is going to help you dive in and find that peace that Victoria talked about within your life and your career, and be able to be bold enough to make these decisions, say no in your life. And so that's where we have the course, y'all, that's dropping August 1st. Yes, 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 yes. And so you got a glimpse of coaching, what it's like to coach with me, what it's like to coach for Janelle. If you tuned into her episode, if not, go back and tune into her episode with Justin so that you can get a glimpse into what it's like to have Janelle as a career planning coach. It makes a big, 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 big difference. And so the beauty about our course is you're getting us both. So you're getting 2 for 1, y'all. You're getting 2 for 1 in this course. And so I'm going to be talking about, like I said, like limiting beliefs. We're going to dive into your dreams and giving you some tools to navigate challenges throughout your life, as Janelle is going to help you with, drum roll.
I'll help you make a career plan. Every creative has 8 pillars that they need to include in their plan. And it doesn't matter what you're doing. You can be a makeup artist, director, writer, photographer, model, actor. We all need to do the same things. And Victoria talked a lot about balance. It balances craft, business, and self care. And self care includes the mindset work, the limiting beliefs. I love that Victoria brought up, oh, I felt this thing coming up in me, and I felt essentially judged and a little bit of shame, and that's part of it. That's a big part of it, just being like, I see you, but not letting it take over. So I am very excited for our course, and yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yes, we can't wait for you to join. It's going to be week to week. You're going to get some weekly modules for the next 4 weeks in August. Each module is going to unleash and open up some modules with videos and some tools and meditations and just exercises that you can do to help create clarity, to empower yourself, to define the path that you want to live as far as your career, whether you're an actor, like she said, a model or a painter or a makeup artist, whatever it is that you want to do with that creative drive that's within you, we're going to help you hone that so that you can take the step to start achieving the things that you want. So we're really, really excited. If you have any hesitation whatsoever, let us know, contact us. In the meantime, we do have some free offers. You can get a little taste of what it's like to coach with us and the tools that we provide. So I provide a energy clearing manifestation practice or guide that you can look through that's going to help you navigate things like self-worth, things like self-love, whatever comes up for you in that moment. It will provide some roadmap for you to release it, to acknowledge it, and to grow from it. And then Janelle is offering this amazing, amazing thing is
They're email templates, which doesn't sound that exciting, but every single client I've had, they know they need to reach out to casting and tell them that they exist or what they're working on or say hi. And they know they're supposed to be communicating with their agent, but it's okay. Sometimes nerves will come up and your ego will come up and be like, oh no, if you talk to them, they'll push you out of the industry. But it's just a business. You're sending a kind email to say, hey, I'm throwing my hat in the ring. I'm here to help. I'm a solution to your problem. And so these templates, it's just plug and play. We have so many different kinds. Casting you just met, casting that you never met that you want to, casting you met years ago and you're like, hello, I'm still here. And agents, they work for you, baby. You have a team. You know, you do 90% of the work and they do 10, which is why they get 10%. But, you know, you guys have to talk to them. So I understand it can be intimidating, scary if you're not used to doing that. So these templates will help you with all of that.
Yes, I love that. And I've done it myself and it's made a big difference. I booked a project because I sent emails and I cared, and I'll round this out, but it matters. What I'll speak to as far as emails and really looking at your career as a business is the fact that, like, using templates like Janelle, I followed up with a casting director and a director that I auditioned for a project. Didn't quite get the role that I wanted. They were like, oh, we went in a different way. I said, okay, no problem. But I sent the email anyway. I said, thank you so much for the opportunity. I had a great time. A week goes by that I got the news that I didn't get it. I get a call and saying, oh, by the way, the director loved you so much and loved your passion for it. We wrote and created a role for you. Y'all, it matters. It makes a big difference. It really makes a big difference. If you love this and you're in it for the long haul, things like mindset and things like understanding that this is a business will get you far. Will get you far and create a longevity of this career. So get on it. Check the links below. Message us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube, on the podcast. Like, get on it. Do not stop yourself from getting to where you want to go out of fear. Use the fear as fuel to drive that car, to fuel that plane, the boat, whatever it is you want to use. Use it as fuel, because myself and Janelle, we're here for you. And we know the challenges that come up and we can help you navigate those things and really be a partner in this journey of life and a guide for you so that you can feel empowered to walk that path, regardless of the outside circumstances, regardless of the rejection, regardless of the underwhelming circumstances that may come up. You've got this. And there's a reason why you want to do that. So believe in that. Like Victoria said, you have to have that belief. And that belief has to start with you and you have to nurture that. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode of the podcast, and tune in because we can't wait to see you August 1st.
What are your thoughts about this episode?
Drop it in the comments and let us know what you want to dive into next.
Subscribe, like, share, and click the link below to book a free consultation. And
We'll see you next time.